Hey there, second grade. We're going to be starting today. This is Chapter 4, Lesson 1. We're going to be covering two-digit fact families. So you can go ahead, open up your math book to page 223, 223. I'm going to go ahead and start talking through what we're going to be working on today. And so you can turn to this spot with me, and then when you get there, you can just follow along. But today we're going to be talking about fact families in Archback triangles. Now, we've talked about this before. And so what we've talked about before is if we have a number like 3, so I'm going to put 3 of my yellow cubes over here. So if I have 3 in one corner of my triangle, and I have 2 in my other corner of my triangle, well, when I do a fact family, I can add across the bottom and get my sum up at the top. So what is 3 plus 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I've got 5 up at the top of my fact triangle. So 3 plus 2 equals 5. We can go the other way too, across the bottom. 2 plus 3 is still going to equal 5. Fact triangles tell us that these are the same numbers we're going to use for all of our addition, and then we're also going to use them for subtraction. So let's go ahead and write down here. And again, if you're still turning to page 223, that's okay. When you get here, you can just follow along with us. But we're going to go ahead and start off with 3, and we said 3 plus 2. So over here, I'm going to put 3 plus 2, and my sum is going to be 5. That's what's up on top. I go across the bottom and then up to the top when I'm doing addition. I can go the other way, so I'm going to start with my other one. So that's a 2 over here. So now I can do 2 plus 3 equals 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. The same way that I solved the first problem, going across the bottom and then up to the top, is how I can find my sum, which is my addition problems. Well, now we want to talk about subtraction for just a moment. And when we do a subtraction problem, we're going to start at the top and then slide down one of the sides of our triangle. But no matter what, when I do a subtraction problem, I always start with the largest number. So on here, I'm going to start both of these with the number 5 because I always start a subtraction problem with 5. Well, let's slide down the side. So 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3, and what number haven't I used? 5 minus 3 equals 2. So I can put 2 as my answer over here. Now I can go the other way. I'm going to start at 5 and slide down the other way. So 5 minus 2. 5 minus 2, what haven't I used, equals 3. So I would put 3 as my difference. When we do addition, we start across the bottom, add those together to get up to the top. And when we do a subtraction problem, we start at the top and slide down the side to find what our difference is going to be. Well, let's go ahead and go to the next page. We're going to turn to page 224 and start talking about what this looks like when we're using two-digit fact families today. So again, go ahead and turn with me to page 224. And we're going to get started at the top of page 224. If you have not got there yet, please pause your video right now because we want to make sure that you are on the right page so you are ready to follow along on page 224. If you have paused your video and you've got to 224, we're going to keep going on. If not, pause right now. So just like we were working on the first page, we're going to be using our fact triangles. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit so that way you can see a little bit more clearly. The difference in ours today is that we're going to be using two-digit ones. So when I look on here, I have 3 corners of my triangle, just like we did before, but my numbers are a little larger this time. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to start at 15, and we want to add 3. So 15, we're going to slide across. 15 plus 3 equals, and when I go up to the top, I see that I'm still going to have 18, just like we did on the first page. When I do my addition, I just go across the bottom of my fact triangle and then up to the top for the sum. Well, my next one is going to have me start with 3, and I'm going to slide across. So 3 plus 15, and then I can pop up to the top and see, oh, 3 plus 15 is 18. So I can add these together going either direction, and the top of my fact triangle helps me out. Well, does this work if we do it with subtraction? Well, let's try it out. So we're going to start at the top with 18, And when we do subtraction, we slide down the side. So it's going to have a slide over to the 15. So 18 slide down the side minus 15 equals 3. I have to use all three numbers when I do it. So 18 minus 15 equals 3. Well, let's try the other one. So we're going to start at the top for 18 because whenever we're doing a subtraction problem, we always start with our largest number. So 18 minus 3 is going to give me 15. Fact triangles help us to be able to solve these different parts quickly and easily just by looking at our triangle. Well, let's go ahead and move down here to number 1. All right, move down here to number 1. And number 1, I've got 12, 12, and 24. So when my first one says 12 plus 12 equals, I'm going to start in one corner, slide across, so 12 plus 12 equals, and I can go up to 24. Now that I've done that, now it's going to have me do my subtraction problem. And if you remember, subtraction problems, we always start at the top. So 24, I'm going to slide down, and minus 12 equals 12. So 24 minus 12 equals 12 more. Okay. I'm going to ask you to try number 2 on your own right now, and then we'll go over it together. So I'm going to ask you to pause your video, do these problems for number 2, and then press play, and we'll see if you got them correct. I hope you paused your video. We're going to go over this together now. So if you didn't pause it yet, pause it right now, and then check your work. When we check work, all we're going to do is you're going to follow along with me. If there was a mistake that was made, you're going to use your pencil and erase that problem so that way you won't make that mistake in the future. So we're going to start off with this one. We've got 11, and it says plus 6. So I'm going to start at 11 and slide over. Plus 6 is going to equal 17. I've used all three numbers, 11, 6, and 17. My next one starts with 6. 6 plus 11, so I slide across, and then up is going to be 17. I use 6, I used 11, and I use 17. Now we have our subtraction problem. So I'm going to start at the top with 17, and it's going to ask me to slide down to the 11. So 17 minus 11 equals, what haven't I used? I did not use that 6. Now we're going to start again at 17. So I start at the top, slide down the side of my triangle to the 6. 17 minus 6, the only one I haven't used is 11. When I do these fact triangles, I need to use all three numbers in my triangle. Every single one of these uses the numbers 6, 11, and 17. If I use two of the same number, then that would not be correct. Okay, so I've got to use each of the number one time in each problem. Let's take a look at number 3. For number 3, it starts off by saying 16 plus 4. So I'm going to start at 16, slide across to 4, and what does that equal? Well, I go up to the top, and that equals 20. But now they want us to do one more step. They want me to write out another addition problem. Am I going to start at 16? No, I wouldn't start at 16 because that was what I started with last time. I want a new addition problem, so I'm going to start with the other number. And it's addition, so I am not going to start with the 20. I only start with the largest number if it's subtraction. Since this is addition, I just start with the other bottom number. I already used 16, so now I'm going to start with 4. Well, when I do 4, I'm going to slide across, and what am I going to add to it? 16. So what is 4 plus 16? 4 plus 16 equals 20. So I can put that up on top. See if you can complete these last two problems right now, and then we'll go over them together. So pause your video and solve these last problems right here. I hope you paused your video and were able to do that. If not, pause right now. We're going to do our subtraction problems. For this one, we start with 20, and we're going to minus 4. So I'm going to start at 20 and slide down the side to 4. And what have I not used? 16. So 20 minus 4 equals 16. Well, now I need to create a new problem here. But we already talked about whenever we have a subtraction problem, I have to start at the top. Look up here. we started with the largest number both times. So I'm going to do the same thing. I have to start with my largest number, but I have to slide down the other side. I already did this side, so I have to slide down this side. So 20 minus 16 is what I need to put. 20 minus 16 equals 4. I can put that 4 right there. I hope you remembered that you have to start with the largest number up on top and then slide down the different sides of the triangle and then find your difference after that. Well, that is all that we're going to work on for right now, but I want you to spend some time this afternoon working on your independent practice problems. All right, sorry, that was my chapstick. All right, we're going to work on our independent problems. So number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And all of these are on page 225. I want you to work on all those problems for right now. And tomorrow when we come back together, we'll go over these during our class time. Thanks so much for staying focused and working with me. Complete number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on page 225, and I'll see you tomorrow.